NIO stock has taken a beating in the last few months, down over 50% from its highs in March. And things just keep getting worse for the company. They actually just announced that they laid off 70 employees and closed an office in Silicon Valley. And this comes just after a few weeks of them announcing a cut of 3% of their workforce in China as well. So does it mean it's time to sell NIO stock, or does it mean it's time to buy some more NIO stock here on this weakness? Well, that's what I want to discuss here right now with you guys. So as you guys know, I bought some NIO stock about a month ago or so. And even though I have a position in the stock, I try to remain fairly unbiased on this company. In fact, when I look at the company right now and its valuation, I actually believe that it's fairly overvalued. And I think that the stock price should be much lower than where it is right now. And I covered those points in a previous video. So if you are interested in that, make sure to check it out. I will leave a link up here and at the end of the video as well. But for the most part, ever since the stock kind of corrected from $10 back in March, it's been stuck in a range between $4.50 and about $5 and just been moving sideways for the most part. And now we get these scary headlines here saying that they're laying off employees, which of course raises concern, is NIO actually gonna go bankrupt? But digging deeper into these headlines here, things may not be as bad as it seems. NIO has about 640 employees in the San Jose office alone at the end of 2018 and around 10,000 employees worldwide. So this cut of 70 jobs, not even a drop in the bucket on a global scale. But nonetheless, when a company makes this kind of move, it really makes you question whether they were forced to make this move or if they chose to make this move to make things more efficient. Now, in my opinion, we're not really going to know the true 100% honest answer here to this question until a few months down the road when we look back here. But from an official statement, NIO did state that this move is actually to help improve efficiencies in the business, and after 4 years of rapid growth, they've set up a global organization. However, fast development has also posed issues like repetitive functional departments, undefined work tasks, unclear work responsibilities, and insufficient work for certain people. So as a result, they close off by saying that they would like to solve these issues by optimizing management efficiency this year. Now keep in mind that back in March, NIO actually did cancel a plan to build out a factory in Shanghai, China. And this of course made headlines because it completely changed the direction the company planned to go in. As of right now, NIO still relies on JEC Motors, a state-run company, to build these cars for them. So NIO is pretty much at their mercy for quality and time. But this really makes me wonder, if this company doesn't produce these cars themselves, what are these 10,000 employees worldwide actually doing? There have been some leaks that NIO is working on AI with some LiDAR technology for their self-driving, which is something Musk and Tesla are completely against. But even then, 10,000 employees? Tesla is significantly larger than NIO currently, and they have only around 45,000 employees, and they actually produce their own cars. So it really makes me wonder here what NIO is spending all this money on for these employees. Maybe that's why they're starting to lay off, because they actually do realize that it is a waste of money to have these many employees when there isn't any production happening by the company itself. Now the question that I have and that a lot of investors have with Chinese companies is the lack of transparency, and when they come out with statements, it's hard to take it for face value and actually believe it until you can see some proof behind it. But the problem with that is that there's a lot of things that are hidden from the general public, a lot of numbers that are tweaked or supposedly tweaked, so you can never actually know 100% if the numbers that you see and the numbers that they project are actually true and not lies. And this is why many investors, even large investors, will refuse to buy big Chinese names, even names like Alibaba and Tencent. And really, when it comes down to it, these Chinese companies are at the mercy of the Chinese government and will do whatever the Chinese government tells them to do. So in the end, you can't really see them as a company that's kind of standalone. You also have to consider the Chinese government behind each one of those investments. Nonetheless, I've already gone through my thoughts on NIO, including my thoughts on their balance sheet in a previous video. But in a nutshell, if you haven't watched that yet, I think that NIO actually has a pretty high probability here of going bankrupt in 2019. They're losing hundreds of millions of dollars, their cash reserves are dropping, and the number of cars that they sell are nowhere near sustainable to keep the company afloat, in my opinion. And of course, competition is just around the corner. As you know, Tesla is building out their Gigafactory 3 in Shanghai, and that should be open towards the end of 2019. And I think once that opens, it's going to put a lot of pressure on NIO and other electric car manufacturers in China. So now that kind of raises the question, does that mean it's time to sell NIO stock? So you can see that with the statements that I've kind of shared in this video with you guys, I'm not exactly bullish and wanting to buy the stock even at these prices. But anyways, for me personally, with my position that I opened as a spec play, I actually plan to just hold this for pretty much ever or very, very long term, unless we see some sort of significant jump to something like $20 per share in the very short term. I have 100 shares that I'm totally fine losing 100% of. And in a way, this position is actually kind of a hedge against my Tesla position, because if for whatever reason the Chinese government reversed the decision on Tesla, or they give Tesla a very hard time and Tesla doesn't succeed in China, the next possible company that will benefit from that is NIO. So if Tesla doesn't work out, then NIO will. But if NIO doesn't work out, most likely Tesla will. So in the end, I guess you could say I'm kind of playing both sides of this here. And even though I don't believe in NIO, I believe they have the opportunity and the potential if Tesla doesn't succeed there. Now personally, I will not be picking up any more NIO shares until we see the price maybe in the $2 range. Not saying that that's going to happen, but if it does, that's when I would consider adding maybe a little bit more to this position just to bring that cost basis down a bit. But as always, I would love to hear your thoughts here on NIO and these layoffs. Are you still buying NIO stock? Are you still bullish on NIO? Or has your opinion on this company changed over the last few weeks and months? Like I said, if you want to see my detailed reasoning on NIO, why I bought the stock, make sure you check that out here. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to invest positively. I'll see you in the next one.